We are going to have a lesson on 9 Gold Medals, a poem written by David Roth. David Roth was born in 1954. This poem, 9 Gold Medals, describes a sports event named Special Olympics, which was meant for differently abled people. The poem stresses the importance of sharing and caring in human lives rather than just winning and achieving. David Roth celebrates feelings of kindness, cooperation, and empathy in the poem. 9 Gold Medals. This is a poem in which 9 athletes from different countries came to participate in the Special Olympics to win for gold, silver, and bronze. They have participated in it after intense training to build up the game. All around the field, the spectators have gathered. They were cheering aloud. Young women and men were ready for the final event of the day. As the final event of the day was the last race, that was a 100-meter race. The loudspeakers called the names of different runners. 100 meters the race to be run, and 9 young athletes stood there determined and poised for the sound of the gun. All of the 9 athletes were ready for the race to begin, and they were waiting for the sound of the pistol. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners on hearing the sound. But the youngest among them stumbled and staggered, and he fell on his knees to the ground. Over here, there's a feeling among the athletes when they heard the cry of frustration, pain, and anguish as the dreams and efforts of one of the physically disabled athlete was shattered. He fell on the dirt. But as sure as I'm standing here telling the story, now it's a strange one. The poet says that there is a twist in the story. What occurred next was the 8 athletes stopped on their tracks, and one who had trained for so long to compete, one by one they turned round and came back to help him and lifted the lad to his feet. It was an extraordinary situation when all other 8 athletes stopped running and they came back in order to support the athlete which has stumbled down on the track. Then all returning time, all the 9 runners joined hands and continued the 100-meter race, which just became a mere walk. And the banner above said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. Over here, the poet tries to emphasize on the fact that the Special Olympics was not only by name special, but by the deed of these 9 athletes, the game became a special one. That's how the race ended, with 9 Gold Medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and the banner above and 9 smiling faces said more than these words ever will, said more than these words ever will. It's just that the race ended with 9 Gold Medals handed over to each one of them. They came to the finish line holding hands still, and the game with special name, that is Special Olympics, became a success. In this poem, we have observed that there are certain points which the poet wants to emphasize is celebration of human values. The poem celebrates human values pertaining to kindness, cooperation, and empathy. The 9 runners were participating in Special Olympics with a dream, with a hope to win gold medal. They have been seriously practicing over months in order to have that. But at the end, the falling of one of the participants in the Special Olympics molded their feeling, their compassion, their kindness towards the single participant who has fallen, they came back, they returned back and held his hand, and the mere 100-meter race changed into a walk, and it was, as the title suggests, Special Olympics. All the 9 participants were awarded with medals, and it remains one of the very beautiful poem written by David Roth on the theme of compassion, and it celebrates human value. Now, we have heard a lot about true spirit of sportsmanship. What is sportsmanship? Sportsmanship implies that the sports activity, which is not only enjoyed for one's own sake, but it is a competition in which fairness, respect and a sense of fellowship is between all the participants. David Roth, through the poem, has indicated that how human values are more important, and how the spirit of competition or spirit of sportsmanship leads to such a beautiful creation of humanity. 9 gold medals, athletes have come from all over the places, and they have put, their people were proud by watching at the athletes who were participating in it, and finally they were ready to run the race, and the pistol exploded and one stumbled and fell down. The other contestant at that point of time could have continued running the race for the medal, but they pulled up on their heels to help the young man to stand up. It was thus an exemplary scene that displayed spirit of sportsmanship. All athletes joined their hands together and changed their 100-yard race into a walk. All of them crossed the finish line together and won a gold medal, each for their compassion for the fellow competitor. If we talk about the style of the poem, it's a very simple poem. It's in a form of conversation, and the narrative technique used by the poet is in a pattern of song. The narrator gives us an account of race organized as a Special Olympic, and the audience are also mentioned. The structure of the poem follows a rhythm that heightens its effect. Alliteration has been used. There has been a repetition of consonant sound usually at the beginning of words, as in his dreams and his efforts all dashed in the dirt, but the smallest among them he stumbled and staggered. Climax is generally the ending of the poem, and it's the poem is able to keep up an event. The mood or feeling is important. There are 2 scenes which adds a great effect to the poem. Firstly, all athletes, when they turn back in order to assist the fallen down runner, was unexpected, and secondly, the race ending with each runner winning a gold adds to the climax or the beauty of the poem. If we talk about the overall analysis of the poem, the poet tried to give the readers an extra compassion. He wants to teach a lesson to the readers that we should be kind, we should be compassionate, cooperative, so that the society in which we are living lives in a beautiful we live in a beautiful world.